Namaskar. Welcome to Dr. Rao's Temple of Learning. This is your YouTube channel, Spiritual Management Course. Today we are discussing part 2 of the discourse entitled Scientific Spirituality, Spiritualistic Science, and Spiritual Technology. Yes, this is Dr. A.P. Rao, Vice President, Telecom Division, HPL India Private Limited, MIDC Ranjangaon, Pune, Maharashtra. So, welcome to the part 2 of the discourse. The summary of part 1 says the term spirituality comes from the Latin word spiritus, meaning vapor, breath, air, or wind. Actually, spirituality is impossible to handle with presently known reasoning and logic. The spirituality and religion are often confused and sometimes used as interchangeable words, while they are not. We have discussed in the part 1 the idea of quantum field and individualized consciousness field, and that quantum field and consciousness field show vibrating particles at nanoscale. We have also seen in the part 1 that outer space is not completely empty, but it is a hard vacuum containing a low density of particles. So now we start the part 2 of this discourse. We speak about the unmanifested and manifested energy. In our universe, there is manifested matter and unmanifested matter, both having its own energy content. For example, milk is a manifested matter obtained from cow, and when we blow it, gets ghee, that is clarified butter. That was not visible earlier in the milk and was unmanifested at that time. The Indian mythology says that unmanifested matter, that is also called dark matter, or energy, that is also called dark energy, has only created the manifested matter or energy. There are known to be 12 basic manifestations of the creator. We call it Brahma. One is called as unknown, the second is called as known. These are the two manifestations of Brahma. There is also something called unknowable, that is Brahma itself. About known and unknown, spiritual management says नास्तो विद्यते भावो ना भावो विद्यते सतः. भारतीय रहस्यवाद कहता है जो नहीं है उसका सिर्फ भाव विद्यमान है, वह असत है, और जो सच में है उसका भाव भी विद्यमान नहीं है और वह सत है. The spiritual management defines untruth as that changes every moment, which is not but appears as if it is present. Actually and truly, it is not. It is only having a sort of emotion. It ever changes with time and therefore is called untruth. And the spiritual management define truth as that is really present for which there is no emotion, and this is really and truly present even in our absence and is never observed or marked in general. This never changes with time and therefore is called truth in spiritual management. The third manifestation is universal Lord or Ishvara. Fourth manifestation is the cosmic self. We call it the golden egg or Hiranyagarbha. The fifth manifestation of the Brahma is known to be cosmic body, that is called Viraj, the sum of all manifestation that emerges out of Hiranyagarbha. Sixth one is the cosmic being, Purusha, whose soul is Hiranyagarbha and body is Viraj. The seventh manifestation of Brahma is called Kal, time. The soul of Ishvara is timeless, whereas his body, that is Viraj, is bound to time. So as you can see in Indian mythology, that Viraj means the gross body, Hiranyagarbha means the subtle body, and Ishvara means pure soul. And that when Purusha and Prakriti meets, give birth to a physical body. So the creations or manifestations are classified into 12 sections in Indian mythology. Eighth one is the Trinity. Functionally, it represents the triple functions of Ishvara, Hiranyagarbha, and Viraj respectively. Ninth manifestation is called space. In Sanskrit, it is called Akash. 10th is the Om or Pranava. It is Brahma in word form, we call it Akshar Brahma, and sound form as Shabd Brahma. 11th manifestation is Annam, food, and 12th manifestation is the individual self, Atma. It remains in bound form, and upon liberation it becomes a free soul. The spiritual management says that whatever is known to us is a drop and unknown is a ocean. Sankhya Shastra confirms the possibility of fetching energy from substratum of space that is assumed always to be full of energy in unmanifested state. According to it, the current scientific concept of an empty space cannot logically satisfy the existence of any reactive property in it. Space is one of few fundamental quantities in physics, meaning that it cannot be defined via other quantities because nothing more fundamental is known to us at present. A new paradigm is a different way of thinking or doing things that replaces the old. It clearly indicates and suggests that physics has reached to an era of transition and needed to introduce a new paradigm in scientific thinking. Let us understand what is the difference between paradigm and a theory. A paradigm is a distinct set of concepts or thought patterns, including theories, the research methods, postulates, and standards for what constitutes legitimate contributions to a field. On the other hand, a theory explains the phenomena based on criteria, while the paradigm provides the background or the frame that allows a theory to be tested and measured. A paradigm can have a number of theories within its framework, and the paradigm acts as a reference point for the theory. Why a new paradigm is required? This is because of many anomalies mentioned, for example, the interactions at Planck's level. The term Planck scale refers to quantities of space, time, energy that are similar in magnitude to corresponding Planck's unit. This region shows Planck's mass with energy 10 to the power 19 GeV, Planck time with time interval of 10 to the power minus 43 seconds, and Planck's length with a length of 10 to the power minus 35 meters. The four universal constants show numerical value 1 when expressed in these units. These are the speed of light in vacuum, the gravitational constant, the reduced Planck's constant, and Boltzmann constant. The second is the superconductivity. Superconductivity is a phenomena determined in science whereby a charge moves through a material without resistance. So far, this behavior is observed in a few compounds at very low temperature. In theory, it allows electrical energy to be transferred between 2 points with perfect efficiency, losing nothing to the heat. The third anomaly is with respect to the ferromagnetism. A positive magnetic anomaly is a reading that exceeds the average magnetic field strength underneath the magnetometer. A negative magnetic anomaly is reading that it is lower than the average magnetic field. The fourth such observed paradox is EPR paradox. In 1985 paper, the Albert Einstein, Podolsky and Rosen introduced a thought experiment to argue that quantum mechanics was not a complete physical theory. It is known today as EPR paradox. The thought experiment was meant to demonstrate the innate conceptual difficulties of the quantum theory. Means we are also stuck even in modern sciences for many things. There is no satisfactory answer or explanation for such anomalies in sciences as discussed just now. Therefore, Indian mythological literature may be of help, that is Sankhya Shastra, in which we may find the logical explanations to help the sciences. What is dynamic equilibrium in sciences? When a system is in balance or harmony, it is a steady state called dynamic equilibrium. In Sankhya, instead of identifying the space as a functional object, it is defined objectively, accurately and functionally only by the specific characteristics required to sustain a dynamic state of existence. This dynamic state of existence forms the base for any manifested or unmanifested phenomena. The essential concept here is the transfer of activity through resonance across the needle point. It shows proposed and proved in Sankhya through wonderful axiomatic mathematics that the matter is just a plane state of resonance of components in the space. Thank you for your patient hearing. This is all for the part 2. We shall continue this discourse to part 3 to see what is the plane state of resonance and the other facts of Indian mythology that may be utilized by the science for its future development.